Hi everyone, I hope you all are great. Today we will have hyphens. First, you have to log in using the aplusstudent.com. Click on your name, move on to language at the grade 8. Chapter is hyphens and lesson will be used hyphens in compound adjectives. Alright, so we'll start now. A compound adjective is an adjective made up of more than one word. In general, you use a hyphen to join the words of a compound adjective. Especially when the adjective could be misread without the hyphen. So basically, you use the hyphen to join the words of a compound adjective, especially when the adjective could be misread if you don't add the hyphen. Okay? So it just means that compound adjective is an adjective made up of more than one word. So it's made up of two words. So we have a full-time job. So you see that there's a hyphen in between full and time. An open-ended question. That well-known actor, an ear-splitting scream, my 2-year old. So you can see that this is three words, an open and close case. However, do not use a hyphen when the compound adjective comes after the noun or pronoun it modifies, or when the first word of the compound is an adverb ending in ly. That actor is well known. My sister is 2 years old. A barely visible star. Freshly washed sheets. As you can see, it ends with ly, so there's no point to use the hyphen. Okay? Note that adjacent adjective are only considered a compound if the first adjective describes the second adjective rather than the noun. So we have an expensive new desk, and then we also have an expensive looking desk. In the first example, the desk is expensive. In the second example, the desk isn't expensive, but it looks expensive. So you can see that there's a difference between an expensive new desk and an expensive looking desk. Okay, so let's look at some examples. Add hyphen to compound adjective where necessary. If no hyphens are needed, submit the text without making any change. So the body temperature of warm-blooded animals such as mammals and birds typically remain constant despite changes in the surrounding environment. So as you can see, we have warm-blooded. It's a compound adjective and it comes before the noun it modifies, and it's a hyphen. So you need hyphen for warm-blooded. Then we also have the next one. So the World Class Aquarium in Monterey, California is known for its interactive display, research facilities, and pioneering work with jellyfish. So do we need to add a hyphen here? So we have world class is a compound adjective, so you need a hyphen. Okay. So spring brought warmer days, blossoming trees, and the long-awaited farmers market, which featured seasonal produce, asparagus, strawberries, and peas. So we have long awaited is a compound adjective and it comes before the noun it modifies, so it needs a hyphen. Okay. So moving on to the text, we will add hyphen when needed, and if it's not necessary, we don't have to add. So we have loam, a type of soil that contains clay, sleet, and sand, is popular for its moisture retaining properties. So is it the first or the second? Okay, so we have moisture retaining. We need to add the hyphen. Okay. So we have spring brought warmer days, blossoming trees, and the long-awaited farmers market, which features seasonal produce, asparagus, strawberries, and peas. So the first or second? Okay, so we have long-awaited farmers market. You need to put a hyphen between long-awaited. So we also have here in William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, Juliet's chatty, long-winded nurse serves as her confidante. So which of them first or second? Okay, so we have the first one. So next up, the body temperature of warm-blooded animals such as mammals and birds typically remains constant despite changes in the surrounding environment. The first or the second? Okay, so we have warm blooded with hyphen. We need to add the hyphen. Okay, so after a heavy downpour, some residents had to contend with knee deep water in their basement. Is it the first or the second? Okay, so we have knee deep. So we need to include the hyphen. Okay, so chocolate covered fruit is my guilty pleasure. Ben confessed. It doesn't matter if it's a fresh strawberry or piece of dried mango, I just can't resist. First or the second. So we have what? chocolate covered. Okay. So if you feel dizzy while exercising in the heat, retire to a cool area such as an air conditioned building and drink plenty of water, first or the second. Okay, so we have what? Air conditioned with hyphen. So next off, the world-class aquarium in Monterey, California is known for its interactive display, research facilities, and pioneering work with jellyfish. Is it the first or the second? Okay, so we have world class with the hyphen. Okay, most mammals are quadrupeds, or most mammals are quadrupeds or four-footed creatures. Humans, however, are bipeds because they walk on 2 feet. The first is second. Okay, so we have what? The first, the second, four-footed creatures. So the first one, you need to add a hyphen. Okay, so we have what? So a well-crafted cover letter can demonstrate both a command of the English language and an ability to screenedly convey one's skills and experience. So it's going to be the first with the hyphen. So the competition of the Panama Canal in 1914, the culmination of a 10-year project, ushered in a new age of shipping and trade. So the first to second. All right, so we have the first. All right, so a temporary loss of hearing can result from the exposure to ear-splitting music at concerts. Experts suggest using earplugs to protect your ears. Is it the first or the second? Okay, so ear-splitting music with hyphen. So loom, a type of soil that contains clay, slate, and sand, is popular for its moisture retaining properties. The first is the second. All right, so we have moisture retaining. Open-ended questions tend to engage people in discussion more effectively than questions that simply call for a response of yes or no. So you have a look if it's the first or second. Okay, so we have what's open ended. So Kimi explained her decision making first process. First, she reviewed the available data and then she consulted with her advisor. All right, so we have decision making. All right, that's it for our lesson on the hyphens. Can you tell me if you have any questions? All right, since we have no questions, we'll end here. Try to complete this lesson if you haven't done it. See you next time. Bye.